Hello there, guys. So I was just watching this short and I saw in the comments just some fanboys being fanboys. So I just thought, you know what? This would be a fun video just to kind of, instead of just typing out responses to all of these people, we'll just go through all the responses to this guy's comment and we're just going to look at the fanboy responses. I just kind of want to do a little response to each and every one of them. If you want to see the reasonable people that they are replying to, you can pause the video and read it. I'm not going to read all that. It's just kind of my response. And who knows, I might make this a series and just kind of do it every time that I feel the need to respond to something. I might just turn it into a video instead of just typing out a response. Let me know what you guys think about that. Anyways, let's just go ahead and get started. So I will read out the main comment. He says, given the fact that Nintendo can brick your console if they think you're doing something they don't like, despite spending your money for it, if they can stop it from functioning, you don't technically own it. And that's because this guy's video right here, now don't go after him. I'm not suggesting you go after him. This is all just for fun. But he was basically, I've seen some of his shorts before. That's why it's kind of getting recommended to me. He's basically a shill who has been defending Nintendo. And he was trying to say, oh, you own this console. You've always owned this console. You just don't own some of the software. And he completely left out the point that the fact that they can break your console, which means you don't own it if they catch you or they think you're doing anything weird. So let's just go in here. This first person, that's not true. And this is where so many people are wrong because it's like when you buy a game and then you cheat, you can get banned from said game. But you only get banned for cheating. You own the console, but he literally told you that every system says the same thing about modding, but yet people are focused solely on the Switch 2. The OLED Switch said the same thing. The Switch Lite said the same thing. With OG Switch said the same thing. So why is it an issue now? Has anyone actually showed them getting bricked because of modding? No, they're just spearbidding. Okay, so first of all, it doesn't matter if anyone has even proven it yet. It literally says they will do it in their new updated terms of service. And the problem with them saying that these previous consoles have done this, these previous consoles didn't literally update their terms of service saying they will shut down the hardware that you legally own, supposedly. It also doesn't say that you can't join a class action lawsuit against them. A lot of people don't know this, but another thing in the terms of service that they updated, along with the bricking thing, is that you are not allowed to join any class action lawsuit against Nintendo in regards to anything Nintendo Switch 2 related. That's anti-consumer as heck. You can still sue them, but at that point it's going to be you, an individual, against an entire multi-billion dollar corporation. Good luck. And then here's another person saying these agreements have been on consoles for years. Get over it. Yes, they have been, but they couldn't brick your console. They didn't take your ability to do a class action lawsuit away from you. And they also would only cut off like your access to their services. So like your online services, you were banned, your account would get banned, but the piece of hardware would still work. Any physical games that you owned, you that were like the whole game was on either the disc or the cartridge, whatever the physical media was, you could just pop it in your system, and even though you don't have your account anymore, you can still play the game on that piece of hardware. That's not the case here. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but modding, get a risk for them. It can mod your Swith to have more game that you actually doesn't buy. This is actually really hard to follow because the English is so bad. Even if you say, I just want to make my Switch looks nice, modding is modding, whatever you called it. They do business. They just do something to protect their product. Here's the problem with this argument is this person is admitting it is, in fact, their product. It's not your property, it is their product. You don't own it. They are literally admitting it. That might have been a Freudian slip right there, but they're proving the point. Like this proves the point that you don't own it. Okay, so this person, so now it's a problem when Nintendo does it. Like, stop saying Nintendo is the problem in this situation when we wouldn't have a problem. No, Nintendo isn't the only one who has said you can't do whatever you want, that has end user license agreements. But on a PS5, you own the PS5 console, and any games that have the full game on the disc, you own those games. There's nothing they can do to take away that system or those games from you. They can take away online service, but that's about it. So this is unique. This is new. This has never happened yet before. Xbox tried it once back when they were going to release the Xbox One, and everyone bought a PS4 because of it. They introduced a DRM. Everyone was like, screw that, and they bought the PS4 instead. Xbox is still recovering from that. Maybe don't pirate games, and that won't be an issue. Here's the thing with this one, right? So piracy is not it's not a price issue. It's a service issue. Gaben, the guy who created Steam, this is a famous quote from him. It's that it is a service issue. Just look at music. Music doesn't get pirated nearly as much as it used to back in the days of Napster and LimeWire, because it's so much easier just to pay a little bit a month for a Spotify subscription. You get all this music for free, basically. It's a service issue. No one, generally, not that many people are pirating on PC because Steam, first of all, has so many Steam sales. It's so easy to be able to still play the games if you have a little bit of patience and still be able to support the developers as well. And people generally don't pirate PlayStation and Xbox games, which you might be like, oh, well, those are consoles. So is Nintendo. Like, I don't know why this is an argument. Piracy, if you are pirating on a PC, like emulation is really the only way. And a lot of times, like for me, I emulate some games. For instance, I emulate uh Twilight Princess, the Wii U version, the Age Twilight Princess HD. If they would have just released it on the Switch though, I never would have done it. I put off emulating it for years. I own I just want to say this, I do own Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U, and I own a Wii U. The only problem is my physical copies are in storage in a state that is halfway across the country right now. I don't have access to it. So my only way to play it, because they don't want to release it for the Switch or even the Switch 2 yet, is to through emulation. I would give them the extra $60 if they would have just released it. They don't. It's a service problem. All we're doing is explaining how your arguments are wrong, yet the only thing you can say is stop defending $1 billion company. Brother, I'm going to defend if y'all are trying to lie about the product and make everyone think it's the product and make people lose out on the chance of having fun. Okay, look, no one's saying anyone should lose out on the chance of having fun. What we're trying to do is make people informed. I already said in my last video, look, if you want to switch to, at this point, they've sold like hotcakes. It's too late. The damage has been done. At this point, if you want one and you're not buying it, you're just depriving yourself. Go ahead and buy it and have fun. But I want you to be informed before you give this company your money. That's all we're doing. No, nothing anyone's saying is lying. It is in their terms of service that they will brick your console. Like your console will become a paperweight. It's not a lie. It's the truth. Like, I don't. If you're trying to argue otherwise, it is true that Nintendo's changed their terms of service to be crazier than any terms of service in video games that have ever existed before. To be the most anti-consumer. This is just a fact. This isn't lying. It is a factual statement. And here's my comments here. So this is going to be the end of the video right here. Like you people make the product seem so horrible that it makes people lose out because they fear they're going to get bricked when it's not going to happen. Okay, so here's my problem, right? The terms of service say it's going to happen. So if we go with that, we can go with the argument like, oh, well, it hasn't happened yet. Well, it's only been out a week. And just because there haven't been any reports of it happening yet, that can work both ways. That means it can happen and it also can't happen. But whenever you take into a factor that the terms of service say that it will happen, you have to lean more towards the reality of it's probably going to happen. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this video. Would you like to see more of this stuff in the future? Until next time, this has been Solid Shepherd, and I should go.